come and study with Tanzania Institute of Education.
Hello students, welcome in the physics period. I am teacher Jafary. I am going to teach you physics, particularly in Form 1. Today we are going to see a very interesting topic of which every one of us do apply it in our everyday life activities. Do you know what is that topic? It is force. So that topic, as I said, is force, and we are going to see and look in detail what is the concept of force. Dear student, to discuss the force is a very good aspect to our lives because we normally apply it for every activities, for every work we are doing. Force is being applied. Now, to get a clear concept on it, I'm going now to ask you, my student, to participate in our lesson by doing the following activities. I know where you are. You are in the place where you can access the door or you can access a window. Now, please take a few minutes to stand up and then go there to if there is a window or if there is a door, go there, and then I'm going to instruct you what you're going to do. I hope you have already reached there. Now, please try to open a door or a window. If you are near to a door or if you are near to a window, try to open it. Do you see? And try to close it. I think there is something you are feeling in your hand. Now, get back to your position so that now you may see what I have also to add to get the clear concept of a force. Dear student, I see everyone, I see where you are. You are looking properly that this is a box. This is a box, and being a box, I can able to shift it from one position to another. For example, I can shift this box from this point and brought it here from the point where a box was, and from the point where I have shifted it. You see, I have just applied something. There is something which have been applied. I think you saw it. Now, the exercise we were doing, opening the door, means once you are opening the door, you are just trying to pull a door. And when you are closing a door, you try to push it. And also for me here, for this box, I have tried to lift it from one position to another. But also, I have this book. You see it? Yes. Now this book, I can just push it, and also I can just pull it. I can push it and I can pull it. All of these activities which I am just applying, I am applying something. A very interesting one. You know what is that? The application of all of this we have done here is what we call a force. Now, we can define a force as a pull or push. That a force is defined as a push or pull of an object, and as we have said here, this pull and the pushing of this object, it was involving interactions. It kills the interaction. So this object, we say that it results of an object which results from the interactions with one another. Which of an object result from interaction, or we say from interaction with one another, Are you together, my student? So as all activities we have said now, this one is what we call a force. Dear student, as we have seen in these activities that we have done, we have just seen the effects that a force is causing. but we have not seen a force itself. Am I right? Yes, you have not seen a force, but we have seen the effects that a force has caused. Now, due to this, we can now have some demonstrations regarding to some of the events of which a force can cause. So let us have a note here that we are going to see the effects that a force can cause. Effects that force, that caused by force. Generally, a force can cause several kinds of the effects, but some of them we can have a demonstration of here, of which are the one which we normally face in our everyday life activities. For example, we say that a force can cause a change, of the object size or shape. That force can cause, or we say cause, change of object size or shape. So the shape of an object or the size of an object can be changed according to the application of the force on that kind of the object. But not only this, but also force can cause the change of a motion of an object. That force can cause either, we can say, motion or change of the direction. Change of the direction of the motion of that body. Change of the direction of the motion of a body. Dear student, you know, studying physics is a very interesting aspect. For every kind of the effect we have said, let us see how can we justify it. I have a balloon. I think everyone you know it. Is it, my student? Yes, we know a balloon. Normally here, you can at home there or everywhere you are, you can face it. Now, this balloon is of this kind of the shape. I don't know how can we say whether it's a circle or whether it's an oval shape, any kind of a shape you say. But we say if you apply force to this object, the shape might change. Look here. If I compress this, you find it change its shape. Have you seen? Earlier it was an oval or it was a circular, but upon compressing, and as we said, this is application of force on this object, then you find that it changes the shape. And perhaps also it might also even destroy it. If I apply a huge amount of force to this, it can destroy, can make a distortion to this body. But also, we have said that a force can cause motion or can change the direction of the motion of that body. Let us see. This one is a ball. Everyone know it, and we normally play it. We normally see players on the ground just playing with ball. Now, if this ball is at the point here stationary with no motion, and if I apply a force to this ball, automatically it can cause this ball to move, is what we say that it causes the motion. Let us see. If I apply to it, you see, a ball is now moving. I have applied a force to a ball. Look again. If I apply a force, you find a ball is just moving. But as we have said that also that if a force can also even change the direction of the ball. If I apply force to a ball and being in motion, then, for example, if I apply to it and then stop it, you find a ball initially was moving in this direction, and then after applying a force to this ball which was in motion, then it changed the direction. But also here, we can add one concept here. We can add one concept of which if the direction of the motion have changed, but also we can say also here, we can add one concept. It can stop an object. Also we say force can even stop the motion of an object. Motion of an object. So all of these things we are saying, they are just occurring due to the application of the force. So the force itself, we have not managed to see it, but we have seen the effects. If a force is applied to a body which is stationary, means not moving, you find that it starts moving. If a force applied to an object, whether it was moving, then you find that an object can suddenly stop. And many more activities or many more phenomena of which we always find or face us in our everyday life activities. I think you are still enjoying. You see how force is very important to our life. So after looking here now, we let us see one aspect in physics. Physics is very important, and is in its aspect, we say that physics is all about the measurement. If you are saying about physics, means measurement is there. What we normally look there, as we saw in the topic of measurements, I think we have already discussed it last time, that everything which is in the earth can be measured. So even a force now being a physical object, it can also be measured. But before looking the measurement of it, it's let us familiarize on what are the units that a force is always normally being allocated. Force is measured in the unit named as a Newton. There are several kinds of the units of which you can place it, but the SI unit of a force means the systematic international units of the force, which is recognized, is Newton. So let us write here, take a note in your book there, so that you can put it as a memorizing in the future, that the SI unit of force is Newton. Dear student, take care on this, writing this Newton. If you write Newton starting with the capital letter, is not the SI unit. But if you mean the SI unit, you are supposed to make sure that you write with this any, which is a small letter. If you write with a small letter, means you are the implication is the unit. But if you write with the capital letter, you mean the name. Because this Newton, which is abbreviated by capital letter N, it was a name of a person, a farmer's physician. I think everyone of us know him. He was Sir Isaac Newton. Sir Isaac Newton was the person of which in the middle of, it was in the 17th century, he developed the ideas on the effects of the force. Was a person who developed the ideas on the effects of force, and to his honor, then the unit of the force was termed to be Newton, which is abbreviated with the capital letter N. Please, I insist, my student, I insist again that be in position to write Newton of this kind, since most of us, or most of people do confuse upon writing the unit of this quantity force. Upon knowing now the unit of force, let us now be in a position of knowing of what kind of the instrument which we use to measure the force. So instrument used to measure force. A force is measured by an instrument which we term it a spring balance. Student, this is what you call the spring balance, the instrument that which used to measure the force. It has two scales, as you see on it. There are a scale for Newton, but there are a scale for grams. I think is not a new term to you to carry conversions of this, and because today we are not going to measure, our aim is just to know the concept of force and measurement of it, and specifically looking the units which are being used. We are going to measure the force of different kind of the masses, regardless we will be having practical cases. But today I can now wind up by saying that since we have discussed on the concept of force, but also we have tried to see the effects of force, which are the one give us the clear concept of force. So let me now give you an exercise which you are going to do when you will be in the position now to measure yourself whether you are right for this case. Now take an exercise and a pen. I'm going to write the exercise for you, of which you're going to do some few questions. So I can say this, that an exercise. I'm going to give you a few questions which are going to measure upon yourself. You're going to see whether am I capable. But don't worry, I think each and everything is right because we have looked in details what a force is, measurement of it, and even see the SI unit of force. So the first question to do is define force. Define force. That will be the first question. You have already gathered the information on the force. So give me the definition of force in detail. But the second thing to do, let me give you one thing, that explain what happens. Explain what happens when force is applied in the following areas. A, when a force is applied to a stationary body. To a stationary body. But B, what is going to happen when a force is applied to a moving body? To a moving body. Try to explain what happens. But the third question to do is, upon all of these discussions we have done, now you are tell what is the instrument. What is the instrument used to measure force? And the last question is just to write the SI unit of force. Write the SI unit of force. Dear students, we have now come to the end of the lesson. I think you have enjoyed much upon our subject and specifically for the force. I think you have seen what forces normally contributes to our life. So get stage next time once we meet you, we'll just start looking what you have done, and then we will proceed with the other things regarding to the force. Thank you very much and goodbye.